The year of 1987 marked the 200th anniversary of the US Constitution. For over 225 years, the United States provided basis for a stable government and remained basically unchanged. United States is the relatively young country in most people's eyes, but one interesting fact that the US Constitution is actually the oldest written one in the world. To understand more about the US government, we should look at two important principles provided by the Constitution today, which are already written over 225 years ago, but it is still proven to be effective today. So we will talk about the separation or so-called division of power. Secondly, we'll talk about the system of checks and balance in the US Constitution. First, let me take a look at three branches that make up the US government. The legislative, which represent the Congress of the US, the executive headed by the president, and the judicial. So the legislative representing Congress of the U.S. is primarily responsible for enacting or making new laws followed by the 50 states of the country. The executive is headed by the president, including vice president and the president cabinet, which is the member of which he appointed. This branch executes the law that originate in the legislature, and it is moreover responsible for the new law that signed by the president is carried out throughout the country. The judicial is responsible for trials in court cases involving individuals, corporations that are accused of law violation. It decides any kind of legal issue that is considered violated and responsible for checking if a particular law is legal using the Constitution. So each branch has its own particular power to the country, and the writers of the Constitution established this separation of power to make sure no branch of the government could ever hold all the power. Furthermore, to make sure no single branch could abuse its power or becomes too powerful, a system of checks and balance was written into the Constitution, giving each branch a way to check or limit in some ways the act of others. It is difficult to overallly understand the system of checks and balance. However, under the Constitution, each branch of the government must answer to the two other branches, so that no one branch can exercise too much power or abuse it. Sometimes one branch of the government can seem to be more powerful than the one or the rest of them, but it doesn't last for long, and maybe in the long run each branch can carefully guard its own power, and all three branches check and balance one another power to make sure the US Constitution and the overall politics and government is balanced.